Welcome aboard. My name is Tammy. I'm the president of Fun and Adventure. And we started doing webinars because sometimes the amount of information just seems overwhelming. A lot of you have cruised before, many of you are first timers. Norwegian Cruise Line especially presents some challenges, but you're probably thinking, what do I do next? We're just about 2 months away. And not to worry, STI has already sifted through all the information and we've come up with a super duper plan, and all you have to do is show up and follow along. Tonight, I've got a team who are prepared to get you ready and care for you throughout this process from today all the way through to the end of your cruise. I'd like to introduce Barry from Shore Trips.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Barry. And we also have our duo, Heidi and Georgia, who are actually together. They have been planning this cruise for as long as I can remember. So, girls, say hello.
Hi there.
Hello there, hailing from Fort Myers, Florida.
Thank you, girls. Awesome. So, what I'm going to do is actually, to start with, you should all be able to see the STI website because we're going to start with the shore trips first. There's a lot to go over. We've got a lot of ports. And so how do you get to the shore trip site? Well, there's a couple of ways. One of them, Barry's going to show you in a minute, but from the itinerary tab on the Epic Exotic Islands cruise, down at the bottom, all the way down at the bottom here, you will see a link that says optional singles only tours in every port. Special deal, pay for 4, get 5. Click here for website. So that's all you have to do is click here to go to the website. But in the meantime, I'm going to turn over to Barry's screen, and he is going to get you started and walk you through the day-by-day itinerary in each port and what you can expect to do. It's all yours, Barry.
Thank you, Tammy. Let's see. I got a clean screen. You can see my screen now?
Yes, just fine.
Okay. Hi, everybody. We have been doing the shore excursions for the STI groups for, I don't know, years. So if you've been on them before, you know how we operate and what kind of shore excursions we have. Really wonderful shore excursions. I have the Shore Trips website on top on the screen right now, Shore Trips. Just have to type in shoretrips.com and you'll come right over to this. And I wanted to point out something to you before we go into the group that you can see on the left-hand side, it says the 2016 Gold Travery Award winner, World's Best Shore Excursions. We received that award a week ago in New York City. It's the big one, and we beat out all the cruise lines on their shore excursions.
Wow, congratulations. That's great news,
Thank you so
Barry.
much. Okay, so let's get to your exotic cruise. And God, I love this cruise. This cruise is going to some great, wonderful ports. I just finished reading a book. Don Yeager is the author. Jaeger. Don Yeager is the author. It's called Tom. I'm a guy. Sorry, I read books like this. Thomas Jefferson and the Tripoli Pirates. It's about the Barbary Coast pirates, and the war that the United States had with the Barbary pirates was the first war that the United States had after the War of Independence. This war was started in 1799 and went to about 1803. Such an interesting book. You should read it if you're into books like that. It's not really heavy. It tells stories, and I like that. But it talks about all these places that you're going to, including Malaga, Spain, and Barcelona, and Tangiers. It's just outstanding. Okay, so that'll get you into this whole thing if you pick up that book. Now, here we are. Let's go into some of the experiences that we're going to offer you on this cruise. This is the Shore Trips website. If you want to find, if this is the second way of finding the activities that we have set aside for you. You can just come into the Shore Trips and click on Find Your Group. and you can see we have all of the STI groups right on the top of this list of all of the groups that we're working on. We do about, I think if you go down this list, you'll see there's about 1,000 different groups that our company works on, but we love STI. We always put it on the top of our list. Just click on Epic Exotic, and you will then get a list of all of the trips that we have planned for you. And the very first one on this list is not a trip in itself, but it's a package. I'm going to open it up and just tell you about it very quickly. We always try to do something special for Tammy because we love her. And so this is what we're doing. If you book 4 excursions, if you book the tour in Las Palmas and Tenerife, in Madeira, and in Malaga, we will give you the tour in Tangiers absolutely free. So it's a great buy. So if you want all 5 trips, all you have to do is come down here and add it to your shopping cart and just buy that, and you've got it. You've got all the trips, except a couple of trips that we're kind of offering for those who are staying in Barcelona. Those you can book separately. And let's go back to the group page. I just hit Epic Exotic on the top here, as you can see. I went back to the group page because I want to tell you about all of these trips. The first one is, if you buy the other 4, is the freebie, and that is Explore Tangiers. Wow, Tangiers, unbelievable. This is taking you into a whole new world. This is the trip that's taking you into the Casbah. And this is, I think, a fabulous experience that very few people do. What we're going to be doing on this day, I believe it's about a 6-hour trip. We're going to pick you up at the cruise ship here, right? We're going to take you into the Casbah, and we're going to take you to the Casbah. We're going to walk through the Casbah. The shops are there. The little cafes are there. You'll get a real taste of it. We're going towards a spot, and that spot is the Casbah Museum. And this used to be a sultan's palace, so it's fabulous to walk around in. This is where they have the maps of the old trade routes across the Atlantic. They have the Sultan's furniture there. The rooms are set up. It's just a very, very interesting place. And then from there, we're going to go to the Grand Mosque. And we're taking you into the Grand Mosque. If you have never been into a mosque before, this is a wonderful experience. We'll go through very quickly. We'll go through some of the Muslim prayers if you don't know what they are. Some of you if you're Muslim, you can help us out when we're doing this. But it's kind of a great insight. We see the mosque itself, which is absolutely knock your socks off gorgeous. And we're also going to make a stop in the Casbah at what we call the American Legation. It's a building. It was built, let's see, about 200 years ago, right after the the war that we had in this area 200 years ago. In this is old maps and pictures of the war, as well as old art. It's just a very interesting, very nice, tranquil place to walk around in. And then we'll have some time. We're going to stop for lunch, and then have some time just to walk around in the Casbah and in the Medina. It's a great trip. It's one of my favorite spots in the whole world, and I'm sure after you're done, this will be one of your favorite spots too. By the way, everybody will be picked up together, but then when we get to into the Medina, going to the Casbah, you're going to be broken down into groups of about 8 people. That way we can manage it, so every 8 people will have their own guide. So we don't have this giant group walking through. We have small groups, and I think you're going to enjoy that. Okay, that's the first trip, and you know, if this was the only trip on your whole vacation, you would be satisfied. But we have a lot more. The next trip is in the Canary Islands, and this is a trip to the Gran Canaria Island. Now, the word Canaria, and the islands themselves, the Canary Islands, it doesn't mean anything about birds. It actually has gets its name from canines, from dogs, because this used to be the island of dogs. There used to be millions and millions of dogs, and when you come to this island, you are going to see lots of statues of dogs throughout the island. In fact, we're going to take you to the Santa Ana Square, which is which is so well known because of all the statues and the bronze statues of dogs in this island. But that's not the important thing. The important thing on this island is a visit outside of the city itself, which is Las Palmas, but out to the caldera. The caldera is a volcano. This island is a volcanic island, and there's a picture of it up on your screen. And if you've never been at a rim of a volcano, it's really breathtaking. So we're going to take you away from the crowds of the cruise ship and the cruise ship pier and the city itself, and take you out into the countryside where you can do a little breathing. And we're going to take you up there, and then we're going to bring you back into the city. We're going to go to what we call the Casa de Colón, and that means this is the house of Christopher Columbus. And in this house, you're going to find maps, you're going to find art history of Christopher Columbus, and it's surrounded by some beautiful little walking neighborhoods. You'll have time to grab the lunch. You'll have time to sit down in one of the cafes, and it's a great trip. And then we'll take you back to the cruise ship. This is a 5-hour tour, and every trip on this itinerary is wonderful. This happens to be a great excursion. Let's go back to the next to the list, and then down to the second port in the Canary Islands, which is Tenerife. Now, we're using Tenerife as a place of really escaping the crowds, because we're taking you out to a national park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it is fabulous. A volcano there also. We're going to go for a walk, not a real hike, but we're going to go for a walk. I think you're going to enjoy this because it's going out into the countryside, and it's going to give you a little bit of exercise. It's 6 hours long. It takes about an hour to get out to the national park. We'll spend a few hours out there. We'll make a lunch stop and then bring you back. In the middle of the cruise, it's something like this to get you to wear off some of that food that you have been eating on board the cruise ship, and it's a great opportunity to do that. Let's go on to our next port. And the next port is in East Madeira. And I'm just looking at what we set up here in East Madeira. This is a port where I'm using the word port, which is kind of funny, because this is an area that is known for its heavy-duty port-like wine. And it's known for a few other things, and we're going to try to take in kind of 3 different things that this area is famous for. One of it is for, like I just mentioned, the Madeira wine. And we're going to do some demonstrations and some tastings of the wine. This is a type of wine that the Spaniards, remember this used to be a Spanish area, the Spaniards kind of produced this wine for their sailing ships, for the crews on their sailing ships, and this wine had to last a long time. So what they did, and they wanted to keep it kind of what we call fortified. They want to keep the alcohol level up in this wine. So they heated the wine before bottling it, and that fortified the wine. I think it did something with the sugars of the wine. And this wine comes now in all various ways, in all different kind of levels of sweetness, Some people use this wine for after dinner. Some people use it like I do. I like eating pork chops, and there is nothing like a Madeira wine that's really heavy and almost syrupy to go with that pork chop. So I can go on forever about this wine, but you'll have a chance to find the wines. And if you find a bottle of Madeira wine that's wrapped in wicker, then you've got like a double value there, because this area is known for their wicker baskets and their wicker products. We're going to make a stop at a wicker shop and a kind of a place where you can see the wicker being made. And you'll see bottles of the Madeira port wine wrapped in wicker. I think that this is something that you should bring home with you. And there's a third thing that's so interesting about this island. They supply fish to all over Europe, and their specialty is trout. We're going to stop at a trout hatchery. I know it sounds corny, but really, I've been there. It is really a wonderful experience. You'll get to sample some of the trout. You'll see the hatchery. You'll see these people. Again, we're taking you into the countryside of this area, and it's going to be an absolute enjoyable day. It's about 6 hours long for this tour.
Barry, I want to ask a question. How many people, let me have a raise of hands, have actually heard of Madeira? Just do a raise of a hand if you've heard of Madeira. Just curious to see. Okay.
They're going to get so loaded on Madeira wine.
I asked because it's really a hideaway for the rich and famous for years. Dignitaries, presidents, Ernest Hemingway used to go there regularly. So there's quite a few luxury hotels that are nestled in the mountainside. It is a very mountainous place and gorgeous, gorgeous scenery. So you guys are in for a treat. So it looks like about half of our members have actually heard of Madeira. So the rest of you, of course, by the time you finish the cruise, you'll be experts. Thanks, guys.
I'm drinking a glass right now.
I am not. Anybody else? Show of hands. I'm taking them all down. Who's drinking a glass of wine right now? Show of hands. Boop, 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 boop. Good, guys. That's what it's about. We just want to bring you fun, and hopefully all of the planning and everything lets it all be a lot easier for you guys. Okay, Barry, back to you.
Next, the highlight, the real highlight of this whole trip, and that's Malaga, Spain, and a trip to a mountainous town about an hour north of Malaga. Malaga is the port, Granada. Why? Because we're going to see the most gorgeous palace that's ever been built, the Alhambra. We're going to be guided. It's breathtaking with views of the mountainside. The gardens are gorgeous. This is a Moorish architecture that will knock your socks off. You will just love this place. I bet if all of you've gone, when you all go here, I bet all of you will want to come back and spend some time in this part of Spain. You will just absolutely love this. I have been to the Alhambra many times. The last time was a couple of years ago. Every time I go there, I see something else. I see another room. I see another interior garden. I look at another mosaic. Or I look out the windows at the countryside and the mountains beyond. It is just absolutely fabulous. You will love this day. Okay, and then after Malaga, the cruise ship goes to Barcelona. And now, Tammy, you've got some things. Some of the people are staying in Barcelona. Is that right?
Yeah, Barry, actually, we have over 30 members who will be staying in Barcelona for 3 nights after the cruise.
Okay, and you've organized a sightseeing tour for them. Is that right?
We have a sightseeing tour the first day, and then Heidi and Georgia are going to address that and talk about some other fun things that they're planning. in addition to your shore excursions. And we're going to round it all out, this whole crazy fun 29 days or whatever it is now, with a dinner party and flamenco show with open bar in Barcelona on the night of the 9th. So
Sounds wonderful.
yeah.
We have organized two things for you. First of all, kind of a private Barcelona bike trip. So if you have people who ride bikes and they're good at riding bikes, this is a wonderful way to see the back streets of Barcelona. For people who are into cooking, this half-day Spanish cooking class, Julie and I have done it. It is fabulous. And they serve wine, and you'll make dishes, whatever they plan to do that day. It's really wonderful if you want to expand your culinary skills. So we're offering you two optional tours in Barcelona, a private Barcelona by bike tour. It's a group trip, just our people, and a half-day Spanish cooking class with dinner.
Wow, excellent.
And those are done on the middle day that you're there, on the 8th. Okay, if you want to purchase these shore excursions, all you have to do, if you want to do the book 4 and get 5, all you have to do is move that to a shopping cart and check out. If you want to buy them individually, do that also. If you want to buy the Barcelona tours, buy those individual also. If you have any questions about these shore excursions, call us up here at Shore Trips. Just come up to the top of Shore Trips, click on Contact Us, and you'll see our toll-free number, and give us a call, and we will help you make the bookings if you want us to, or we can answer your questions about this. And Tammy, I want to come with you. I really want to do this cruise.
Barry, I'm not going either. This is sad. Anybody else want to take Barry or I in your cabin? I know it's it's no fun at the top, Barry, as they say. But anyway, it's okay. It's okay. I've been to Madeira. I've been to all of these places. I speak Spanish, and that's how I was able to learn it. So if anybody actually is interested in Spanish, you will have a chance to do that and practice in a lot of these ports. Some of our members speak Spanish. Heidi, our concierge, speaks Spanish. I don't know if she's planning a little Spanish lesson, but that sounds like fun. And not to put you under pressure, Heidi, but this would be a great itinerary to get some practice in. So
why don't we tell them what the weather is going to be like?
Sure, Barry.
All right. It's I've been there during this time of the year. You're going to find yourself mostly in the 70s. It's a wonderful, comfortable time to be in these areas.
I agree.
The nights, they'll drop down into the 60s. It's refreshing.
Fantastic.
Okay. Well, with that, Tammy, good luck with the group. Group people, please start putting your bookings in so we know how many people we have on this. And if for some reason you have to cancel these trips, you should know about our cancellation penalty. You can cancel all of these trips, anything that you buy, up until 14 days prior to the arrival in the port. You'll get all your money back. So please put your bookings in right away. It doesn't super obligate you. You can always cancel if you have a problem and you have to cancel. And of course, if the ship doesn't make port, you will get all of your money back immediately. So don't worry about that.
That's right. One of the reasons that we work with Shore Trips, the world isn't a perfect place, and we get comments about the cruise lines, we get comments about the airlines, and I'm just going to tell you that between the team at Shore Trips, this is a family-run business, singles travels, family-run. We care so much about your experience on board. I use that word a lot, but I use it very, very in a heartfelt way, because if anything happens on the cruise, you've got Georgia and Heidi, but they're trained that if anything should go awry with the shore excursions, or there's any emergencies, they contact me, I contact Barry. We're on it. So you couldn't be in more caring hands and more capable and more experienced hands, which is why we work with Shore Trips. Another, I think, a very strong piece of advice is to follow up with what Barry said, book your shore excursions early. This is a unique departure. So even the NCL excursions as well as the shore trips are all going to sell out before you go. We had 2 instances this year where our members kind of just blew it off until they get on. And it's okay to do that in the world before, but nowadays with everything being available online in advance, there's a lot of people that get their ducks in a row. So I'm sorry for you last minute guys like me who want to just show up and then have it done. I think you're going to face some disappointment. So I mean that seriously. And with STI and the small departures, the small vehicles that we have, so that your experience is more personal than a huge 40-person bus, these will sell out. So for the most part, there might be one or two, but for the most part, they will. So go ahead and lock in, get it done, and as Barry said, if you have to change or anything, you have full flexibility until the 14 days. And Tara over at Shore Trips is available and waiting and willing, and she's the expert. So you would call Barry. Just what's that number for Shore Trips?
It's 888-355-0220. 888-355-0220. Just go to shoretrips.com, click on contact us, and there's the number right there.
Okay. I'm going to.
Tammy, love you. Goodbye. Have fun.
Thank you, Barry. Really appreciate it.
Bye, everybody.
All right. So, guys, let's have some more fun here. And again, I'm not drinking wine. I wish I were tonight, but this is such an important presentation. There's so many of you guys out there. Who has had a chance, show of hands, who's had a chance to post a chat message? Okay. The numbers are creeping up. I'm wondering if everybody knows what the chat is. It looks like about really not even half the members here. So I'm going to start there and show you how to get to the chat. And first of all, probably the easiest way is to go right to the trip page and click on member chat. So there it is, right in front of you, right on the Exotic Epic Islands cruise page. And the other way to access it, if you log in, would be to go directly to the top of the screen here, right next to the phone number. Can you see where it says, "Welcome back, Tammy"? And I highlighted my profile. You would click on my profile, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you'll see Tammy's chats, or Albert's chats, or Susan's chats, and so on. And then you would see it that way. I like to go to the trip page. It's a little more direct. So what do you find on the chat? First of all, this chat is a private location just for members who booked this cruise. Nobody else can get in here, and they believe me, they tried. But it's only for the members of this group, and it's designed for you to talk to each other. I know it's a message board versus IM, and that's coming in the future, but to leave messages, to talk to one another, and it's just a perfect way to share your own information about the vacation. This isn't the best resource if you want help from one of us at the team at STI, but I'm going to show you how to do that in a few minutes. So first of all, take a look at this topic here. So when you come into the chat, you can just click on any given topic. It looks like somebody put something about learning Spanish today about an hour ago. Deborah, that's cool. But I want to point out one that's called Specialty Dining and Entertainment and STI Themes, which Georgia and Heidi just posted today. So all you have to do is go in here, click on it. And this is a big message that Janelle posted for you guys today. I would recommend that everybody print the page because it has the exclusive STI VIP agenda for the whole time. So remember I said we've already sifted through all the information and taken care of a lot of the details. We booked the top 2 shows for everybody in the group. You can see on Tuesday, March 29th, we have Burn the Floor. That's for all 85 of you. Also, we booked on Tuesday, April 5th, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. You guys don't even have to worry about that. We also have main dining for the group in both Taste in Manhattan each night. But then we've already gone and booked 20 seats for many of the nights in at least 2 of the specialty dining rooms. So if you haven't been on Norwegian Cruise Line before, you know that they're known for freestyle cruising. And one of those things means that in addition to the main dining room, they have 5 to 6 alternate, what they call specialty dining rooms, and they actually have an extra cost associated with them. In my opinion, if that's worth anything to you, I'm a foodie. I love delicious food, chef prepared, excellent service. You're going to find that in these specialty restaurants. There's a French, there's a Cagney steakhouse, a churrascaria, which is a Brazilian steakhouse, Italian called La Cucina, and teppanyaki, a blast. The servers and the chefs in the teppanyaki where they do the hot service are very comedic, and it's a great way to do dinner, especially with a group, because we can usually fit around 18 or 20 around the whole table. So this is where you're going to find, for the moment, our agenda. And there's one other element here that I'm going to show you how to access on the Norwegian Cruise Line. So all of this is already kind of taken care of. If you want to book the specialty dining, that will be done on the price and options page. And it's just a VIP reservation. You will pay for your dinner once you're on board. And that'll be done on the price and options tab here at STI. So I'm clicking on that. And you can go ahead and see down at the bottom here, we've got all of our dates here for Bistro, Cucina, Cagney's, Moderno, and Teppanyaki. Now, guys, in order to take the reservations and keep track of everybody, there's $1 reservation charge. That's just to kind of cover the operations of getting all of the data together. And as I said, you will go ahead and book, you'll pay for the dinner once you get on there. So you can change it once you get there, but we want to make sure that if we didn't do this in advance, there's no way you would get 8 o'clock, 7:30 and 8 o'clock dinner times, which we have already for the people in our group. And as singles, not knowing one another, it's pretty difficult to get on the chat and find 8 friends right now. We know from doing this for so long. So we hope that you understand the value of it. And the other thing is that because we can't always guarantee 80 rooms in the main dining room, 80 seats, so we encourage you to take advantage of the specialty dining for the best times that are associated with our shows, and also to experience the ultimate cuisine while you're on board the Epic. So now I'm going to go back to the chat, and I'm going to show you, let's say, for example, you want to create your own topic. As Deb did. She said something about learning Spanish. So let's actually click on Deb's. She said, I just got tapes to listen to the car. I'm excited. They're pretty easy. I won't be able to read, but I'll be able to converse a bit. So if somebody wants to say, hey, Deb, I'd be happy to practice with you. All you have to do is type into the post reply box, and then down at the bottom, hit post reply. And then she'll be able to see your message. Super easy, right? Want to go back and read some more? Click back to topic list. And now you can see all your topics again. If you would like to create a new topic, which I'm going to do right now, I just clicked create a new topic at the upper right-hand corner. And now I'm going to type in get ready webinar recording. It's tomorrow, and then I'm going to click post new topic. So right now there's nothing in here, but tomorrow I will actually put the recording for tonight's webinar so everybody knows if they want to listen to it a little bit later, it's available to them. So I'm going to go back to the topic list. Let's say you want to send a message directly. Let's go back to Deb, learning Spanish. Do you see right here underneath her message, it says send a message to Deborah? All you have to do is press that link and it will create a box to send a private message to Deb. Now here's the thing about STI's site, which is excellent. We respect your privacy. Nobody has access to your personal information unless you share it with them. So this makes it safe for you to reach out and say hello and send messages to members that you haven't met yet. What's going to happen is the message will drop into your personal email, but avoid hitting reply in your email responder. That just comes back to me and I get to read all your private messages. But if you open the email, it'll say reply to Deborah's message here. It's a big blue link. If you click on that, it will open a response box and then you're able to send your message back to her. That's what keeps you private. Here's another feature about the Singles Travel International site, and it's called Making a Friend. So I look at the list here and I see lots of my friends, but let me find, I think Betty here is she's a brand new member. Do you see also under the Who's Going section, by the by, on the right hand, first you see your trip directors, Heidi and Georgia, and then underneath it says Who's Going. They're in alphabetical order by first name. And then those members that have a box with a star and a number, that represents the number of vacations they've taken with STI. So from the look of this, it's pretty popular. But I see a new person. So again, I'm going to see Aletta from India, California. Indio, she's booked. So I click on her picture. I can read a little bit about her. And if I want to send her a message, do you see on the right-hand side it says feeling friendly? I'm able to invite her to be a friend or send her a message. So if I wanted to send her a friend message, just click invite Aletta to your friend list and she will be one of your friends. Now there's some benefits to that. I'm just going to hit the back button here. By having a friend, you're able to send unlimited messages. Otherwise, you get up to 4 a day. And also if you make friends, and this is, I think, one of the coolest things for all of you, is that when one of your friends books a trip, you get a first alert. Hey, Aletta just booked a trip, or Artie just booked a trip. Do you want to join him? He's going on this. So that way you can keep track of what all your friends are doing. That is pretty much everything that's on the chat. But before I go, I wanted to introduce to you the dynamic duo, Heidi and Georgia, because they're going to talk about the themes, and you've got a chat post here about your themes. So I'm going to open that up and introduce Heidi and Georgia. Hi, girls.
Hi there. Sorry, we had to unmute ourselves.
That's okay. We hear you loud and clear. Thanks for joining.
Absolutely.
We're psyched.
Well, we have 3 exciting theme nights planned for the STI entourage. And we thought about at least the area of the world that we were, as well as the timing of the year. And we posted it, what was it, maybe a month ago? It was at least before the new year. And then we reposted it just in case everyone was busy with the holidays and whatnot. But now is the time to start gathering your costumes, because the STI bunch, if you're a newcomer, it's something we take very seriously. We're big on costumes, and I have a feeling that many of you have your STI pictures as your profile picture on Facebook. We have 3 theme nights, and I guess I'll just run them down. We don't know exactly which night they will be as of yet, and we will keep you abreast of that. Basically, we need to coordinate with the ship when we are in Barcelona, and we will let you know well in advance. So just start brainstorming, put them into your suitcase, and we'll let you know at least 2 days, if not 5 days in advance for you guys. So since we're on the exotic island tour, we wanted to do something that addressed Morocco. So we have a Moroccan night, and for those of you that have not been to Morocco, for women it's going to be something that is bright, vibrant colors, but not scantily clad. So long dresses or long pants, but really brilliant colors. You have ability to jazz up your attire with perhaps henna tattoos or even some bangles. For men, it would be something that would be maybe a long tunic. You can easily do a Google search and go for Moroccan costumes. You'll see a typical Moroccan male hat, as well as ideas for perhaps doing something fun with something you already have in your closet. Okay. Since we are going to be working with the ship's, I guess, what we call freestyle dining, as well as moving away from the very, very formal nights, what we wanted to try to do was do something a little chic, but working with Casablanca. And so you guys may be familiar with the movie, and if you haven't, well, do a little search and see what the characters in Casablanca, what Bogart and Bergman wore. We're going to do a theme night that's called Casablanca Nights, and George and I, we thought, well, that means bring out your trench coat, bring out those classy hats, maybe some gloves, maybe elegant knee-length dress and jacket, and one of those sassy cigar, or not cigar, but cigarette holders. So those are two, Moroccan Night and Casablanca Night, and we are on board the Epic for April Fools. So no holds barred. I mean, turn your clothes inside out, dress as another gender, put on a wig, do something that you're wearing different shoes, do something wacky. I mean, we're all doing this to have fun. So those are the three themes that George and I have created, and we hope that you take this and start brainstorming and bring all three packed in your bag and have an absolutely wonderful, wonderful time. Did we lose you?
Georgia,
Yeah?
are you going to tell us a little bit about Barcelona? Or
All we heard was the
is it still top
themes. Did you-
secret?
We're not connecting with what you're saying. What did you say again?
I was just asking if you girls are ready to talk a little bit about some of the optional things that they might be able to do in Barcelona after the cruise, or is that still top secret?
Well, I guess what we wanted to stress is I lived in Spain for a couple years. Also, Georgia has been to Barcelona many times. It is absolutely an international mecca. You can't necessarily say that you have experienced Spain without going to three places. And you will have the opportunity to go to Granada as well as Barcelona on this particular cruise. It has a distinct culture than other parts of Spain because of the Catalan influence. So I think that you guys are going to enjoy it very much. We heard from Barry about the 2 shore trips, and I think that those are excellent ways to see Barcelona. Barcelona is great by metro, by foot, but by bike, you could cover it a little bit more quickly and with an expert guide. Part of the Spanish culture is the food, and a cooking class for me, those are the best souvenirs that I've ever picked up on all of my travels. So I would suggest both of those for on the post trip on the 8th. However, what we have planned for the indie meetups is still to be revealed. We will do that via chat.
I think we'll do that via chat, but I think the other key thing is that Barcelona is on the, it's on the beach. And so again, you've got both the city and all of the historic city that goes with that, but you've also got some of the enjoyment of being, on the beach and that whole atmosphere. So we're going to try to mesh the two of them together. Obviously, the bike tour will hopefully do some of that too, but you've got Los Ramblos, for basically, evening activities, which we hope to take in. Tapas, there's some phenomenal restaurants around the hotel for tapas. A lot of people like to take in paella. So separate from the cooking class, we hope to find a paella restaurant. Barcelona is known for some of its fountains, and at night a lot of the fountains dance and have music with them, so we hope to take in those types of activities in the evening as well. The hotel that we're staying in is ideally located within walking distance or within basically a bus ride or a trolley ride of most of the activities. So we do hope to put all of that together for both the pre and the post cruise.
Great. And you know what else is a fun thing to do in Barcelona? If you haven't been there before, they have a hop on, hop off. I think a lot of people are familiar with that. And Georgia and Heidi are very experienced leaders for Barcelona. Georgia can help you find the location to buy the hop on, hop off. The girls will have, meetup times every day. We'll have breakfast club as usual. There's a great market there on the weekend that many of you may want to just participate, walking around, looking at the stalls, doing the sights and the sounds. And our hotel, the Avenida Palace, this has taken us years to get to this place. Many of you have cruised with us a long time. Michael went a couple of years, June, and they always give us feedback. And one of the things that we found out was that people want to be in the center near the La Rambla. And so our hotel is right at the top of La Rambla. So we're in the most opportune location in Barcelona. So you literally can step out and take a walk and see a lot of what's there. I do recommend getting be preparing for naps, because the Spaniards party like crazy. So if you're into that, you're going to want to take a little nap one of the afternoons so you can stay out late. Their dinners, the clubs, the restaurants, everything really doesn't even start until 10, 11 o'clock at night. So, but the girls will be there to take care of you. Yes.
Hey, Tammy, you mentioned a Spanish lesson, and maybe we can start now and we can continue on the ship with the Spanish lesson. But the first one to piggyback on your conversation is siesta. And I think most people probably are familiar with it, but a part of Spanish culture is a siesta. From 2 to 4, you've got to have that time to recuperate from being out until maybe 2 to 4 in the morning.
That's right. Gracias, Heidi. Muchas gracias. Well, so now I'm going to bring you guys back to, is that everything? I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, girls.
Nope, that's great.
Okay.
We're good.
I've been answering questions online, and you may have seen the site change a couple of times. I had some questions about the specialty dining, and we will post a link on the chat tomorrow so that you can get a sense for all the different restaurants and what the prices are. So thanks for that tip. I appreciate it. I think that was from Linda. So now, guys, now that you've experienced the chat, I'm going to tell you another area that's good to get familiar with, although maybe not as fun. It's the rules and regs. I'm going to click on the FAQ tab here. The frequently asked questions, that's what FAQ stands for, has a lot of information about the vacation. Most of you have probably already read this, but I would say some of the important terms would be how to book your flights. So there are some really specific parameters for booking your flights. That's on here. And then the other thing is in the very first question right here where it says, I'm signing up for my cruise, what else do I need to know? So 14 days before we leave, and that's 14 days before the cruise, we will try to get it earlier. And I believe we will this time because we've been working on that. Our final vacation details and meetup information is a document that STI produces that has everything, at least we try to fit everything in there that you need to know before you step out of your house. So the day you're traveling, you know when you get to Barcelona, how to find the hotel, how to get to the cruise ship, what time to meet the girls for the welcome meeting on the ship, if you're in Barcelona, where to meet Heidi in Georgia. They're going to be hosting in Barcelona the night before the cruise as well. So we have about, oh gosh, I think there's 40 members in the Avenida Palace that night. So that package is sold out completely. The hotel just informed us that the prices are triple now if you want to book it. So everybody, I think, is locked in. You guys did great. And now we have 2 more rooms from April 4th to the 7th. So if you haven't booked that yet, we have 2 more rooms, and then that package will be sold out. In addition to the frequently asked questions, take a look at that at your leisure. Up at the very top here, you see there's a paragraph that says, for the best experience, please read all the information, but visit our help center for more information about traveling with us. So you can reach that from the FAQ tab, or always at the very top of the page, right under the phone number. I'm going to highlight that. It highlights a little more, but you can see the help button. So whether you click help at the top of the page on the right, or you're in the FAQ, it's going to take you to the same location. And let me show you what that looks like. And here's our help center. So you can search topics by entering in a keyword, or you are able to read some of the terms and conditions. If you are logged in and you're booked on the Epic Exotic Cruise, the terms and conditions for that will come up first. So that FAQ, if you were just to log in and hit help, you would see the frequently asked questions for this trip. You don't really find what you need, hit send email, shoot us an email. It comes to the help center. Janelle works those, and we try to get to you within 24 hours. So as you need us, our telephone is there too, 877 solo trip, and we're there. So at this time, I know we're running a little bit later than we expected, but I hope it's okay with you guys because we have a lot to cover. I'm going to go over the Norwegian Cruise Line website now, which is www.ncl.com, Norwegian Cruise Line, it stands for. And the reason we're taking you here is because in addition to book, some of the things we talked about already, booking your shore excursions and getting your specialty dining booked on our site, you also want to book Cirque Dreams on the Norwegian Cruise Line site, and as well, print your boarding card. So we'll show you how to do that. First of all, you'll just come to the NCL site, and there's 2 ways to attack this. Some of you are already past passengers with Norwegian Cruise Line, and you have a username and a password. Some of you don't. Not a problem. You're going to click at the top here, get ready for your cruise. And then over here on the left where it says online check-in, you'll click online check-in, which I'm going to do right now. And this is the page that you want to end up on. And in our final vacation details, we'll have a link to this as well. You'll be able to see the recording for this webinar, or if you need help, just email us at the help center and we'll help you get there. So if you already have an account, this is your section right here. You're going to log in with your username and your password. If you don't have one, pretty easy, right? Create a new account. You click the orange button, and then you go ahead and fill in the information here. First name and last name, your birthday. And then after you put in that information, I'm going to show you what it looks like, because I tried to register Hans Solo tonight, and they told me that he's already a member, and so is Darth Vader, and so are a few others. So I did a sample with Sergio yesterday. I hope everybody can see this. It's first name, last name, date of birth. He does not have a latitudes number. And in your case, you're going to put in a current cruise reservation. But because I'm not able to demonstrate that live, I'm showing you what it looks like after you put in your reservation. And I'm going to tell you how to get that number in just a minute. It's going to ask you to create your own username, your own password. You'll enter that twice. They want your telephone number and your email address. Okay, so going back to the website, they're going to put your information, just start filling it in. It's pretty self-explanatory. And if you have trouble with it, then there's a help there's a help button right here at the top. So you can see that help, and then you would just go over to contact us and they will help you log in. Now, what sometimes happens is that the members try to log in and they put in their cruise. So they'll put in their cruise departure, which is the name of the ship and the date, and it might say it doesn't exist. So it could be that when you made the reservation, maybe we typed it in with your middle initial, or maybe we did a typo. Sometimes that happens. So if you're not able to find it after you call the NCL help number, they usually say call your travel agent and we will help you. And I can easily look it up and assist you. So I hope that doesn't happen, but sometimes it does. So when you are asked for your reservation number, let me just see a show of hands. Who knows where to find your cruise reservation number from STI? Who knows how to get that information? I can see it's lots of our regular travelers. All right, good. More than are having wine with the presentation tonight. I like that. Good, guys. So, okay, but it's about half still. So let me show you. I'm going to change the screen again. Everybody receives an invoice when they book a vacation. It's after you book online. That's the first step. You get an immediate confirmation, but then we send you an absolute confirmation that comes with the final details and your price and everything. And so what you want to do is find the line that says cruise reservation, and right underneath that I have in yellow your confirmation number. So to kind of recap the simple procedure, which I probably made complicated, but you're going to come to the create a new account, put in your first name, your last name, your birthday, and then if you're a Latitudes member, you'd fill that in. When you go to create the account, it's not going to work for me here. That's why I showed all the extra information. It's going to ask you for your cruise departure, your cruise ship name, and then it'll ask you for that creating username, password, your phone, and your email. Again, pretty self-explanatory. So let's say you're already logged in. So let's get to the fun part. You're already a member, or you create your new membership, and now you're automatically going to end up inside your account. So what I'm going to do right now, I've already logged in, and thank you, Georgia. She gave me her credentials. So you can see here under login, I've got a username, a password. I'm just clicking login. Super easy. If you forgot your password, you can do a recall. This is so much easier these days than it was even 5 years ago. Everybody's so used to it. So now once we're in, you can see Georgia's a busy girl with NCL. But over here, you see her name is identified. Now, let's say you got into your new account and it doesn't show your reservation. Like you can see her reservation here on the right, correct? Up down here at the bottom, you have another chance. So let's say you've already been a member. The first example was someone who's not a member. Let's say Georgia got in and she didn't see it. She could put in here Norwegic Epic, the sailing date, her reservation number, and it should locate it. But that's the place where I said sometimes we have an extra letter. I think that happened to Sharon last week. She had to call me because I had a middle initial in there. So just let us know. In the meantime, once you come in and you see your reservation, just click View Reservation. And then here's a good idea just to kind of explore and do a summary. So first you can click on Vacation Summary at the top. And you'll see your itinerary, your cabin number, your check-in progress. You can see Georgia's already checked in. I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. And then there's the day-by-day itinerary. And if you book some amenities, now if you book the specialty dining with Singles Travel International on our website, you will not see this in your tool, in the dashboard here. Why? Because we just have 20 seats. We're never going to give your name to them. So we'll just tell you, the girls will give you the daily program. Each night at dinner for the following day, they'll have lists, and at the welcome meeting, as well as the final vacation details, we will reveal to you who's going on what dining location, which night, and everything like that. So that's going to come from us. So I know it's a little confusing, but it's the only way that we've mastered to get everybody together. NCL is not on top of the singles event, so leave it to us. But in any case, this is your summary page for your entire vacation. So if you do book Cirque Dreams, which is on day 7, which is in Funchal, April 3rd, that's what we're recommending, then you would see this in your summary. So that's your cruise summary. And you know what? All the way down at the bottom, there's a lot of other cool information from Norwegian Cruise Line, what you need to know before you go, your stateroom, et cetera, et cetera. So take a minute to explore vacation summary. The next place is also at the top. They've made this a little bit easier, online check-in. So again, I just simply recommend that you go through step by step, click on number 1, input the information, number 2. You may need to put your passport there. The other thing that sometimes is a sticking point, it may say, how are you getting to and from the ship? Because they want to know if you have transfers. And if you're not sure, don't worry about it. Just tell them that you're getting a private ride to the ship or something like that. It's not of ultimate importance. The main thing is that you put your name in and you get your passport in there and fill out most of the information. A lot of it is actually marketing also for the cruise line. So, and then once you fill it all in, you will have a chance to print your boarding card, okay? If you're sharing a cabin with another guest, although I don't think there are many in this group because everybody's got the T1 so we can party in the single studio, both members in the same cabin do have to complete the registration. So if you're rooming with somebody and you're not able to print your docs, just send them a nice friendly message from the chat. We showed you how to do that today. Hey, trying to check in. I haven't seen you. Do you think you'll be doing it anytime soon? If you don't hear from somebody, let us know. We'll reach out. But everybody's a little bit different. Some people plan way in advance and others are super last minute. So if you're getting frustrated and you need some help, just reach out to us and we'll take care of helping you print your boarding card. At this point, I'm just going to hit back to the summary, back to vacation summary, since now I've already checked in and printed my boarding card. Here I am going back to the vacation summary. And this very last section now is explore and plan. So here, explore and plan is also at the top. There's all kinds of things here. So even though we booked the shows for you, the 2 main shows, there are more shows. Even though we booked specialty dining for most of the nights, we recommend that you go with the singles. I've seen time after time, our members will book a table here and there, and when they get on board, they see, oh, everybody's kind of going, everybody wants to be together. That's the point. So if you really, though, have a couple of friends that you've traveled with or something and you want to do your own dining one of the nights, then go for it. This is where you would do it. But I want to show you now how to get to the Cirque Dreams, which we are recommending. So they don't let us book this in advance. It's an awesome dinner show. It's at 9:30 at night, which could be a little bit late, but I think it's really worth it. And we moved it today, Janelle and I, to a night that precedes a sea day. Okay, so it's going to be on April 3rd, and the following day you're at sea. So that way, if you're up late for a dinner and you want to dance it off, you have that capability. So what you're going to do is on this Explore and Plan tab, go down on the left-hand side, you see where it says Filter By, and I'm highlighting Funchal Madeira number 7. That's your 7th day at sea, or 7th day on the cruise. If you click on that, then you have all the options of booking things for that day. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit until I see Cagney's, La Cucina, Moderna, all the way down to entertainment. Everybody see that, I hope. This says Cirque Dreams, and we are recommending the premium seating. Why? Because it's the best seats in the house. STI has no take in this. We're just trying to facilitate you guys. And as you can see, there's a lot that goes into it, but we don't mind. We just want you to have everything locked in, and you be special once you're on board. Because we know if you get on board and you don't have anything planned, the cruise line doesn't care if my 85 members don't have shows or dinner. So this is what we're presenting. We would recommend, so that everyone's together, book this independently. Cirque Dreams premium seating. So I'm going to hit the word select, and this is how you would book it. I'm in as Georgia right now, so you would hit select. And then I think this next part is important. Check off, it says, now I'm going up at the top here. You can see my highlight. It already says April 3rd because we chose that. Be sure to choose the 9:30 seating. That way you know you're at the 9:30 seating with the rest of the group. Could you do 6:30? Of course, you just won't be with the group. No problem. It's your choice, guys, and that's what we're about, choices. Lock in what you absolutely have to have, and then, of course, you've got some choices. So in addition, as I had mentioned, we will have seating in the main dining room every night. Georgia and Heidi will be presenting a daily program each night at dinner. We will be at the main dining room, and then the girls will deliver to the 2 specialty dinings, and then the night is free for everybody to have a great time. So I'm just going to do a little recap here. I see lots of questions, so I'm going to open up and do the Q&A. It's not a problem. But first of all, as we walk away from this evening, I want to thank you for attending. It was really a thrill to be able to do this for everybody. And we want you to go ahead and book your shore excursions. Lock those in now. First come, first serve, right? Go ahead and get on the chat and meet your cruise mates. Say hello. And if you have some specific desires or some things that you want to do, I know some people are already talking about Barcelona because they've come to me and asked me some questions. So go on board and on the chat and experience that. Review that chat post about the entertainment and the dining and print it out. Then go ahead to the STI price and options tab. I'm laughing as I say this to you guys. We're trying to make it easy. And book your specialty dinners. Come to NCL and add Cirque Dreams, any other services, drink packages, you name it, it's all here for you. Spa treatments, all kinds of good things. And then 14 days before you go, you just come back to the Singles Travel International website and click on the FAQ for the Epic Exotic Islands. And I'm going there now on the FAQ. And the very first question, we will put a link here to our document that'll tell you exactly what to do on March 27th, 28th, etc. And if you have any questions, one thing I have a note here, the check-in for your boarding cards is turned off 48 hours prior. So please go and try to do your check-in at least 48 hours prior to departure. Otherwise, the system kind of shuts down, and it's okay. You can always show up like we did in the old days with your passport and a smile. As long as you have your confirmation number, they should be able to board you and process you. Okay, so it's not mandatory, but some people are more comfortable having that in hand. But if you have the SCI reservation number and you're on our list, you're fine as long as you have your passport, because you do need a valid passport to take this vacation. So with that, I'm going to open up a little bit to see if there's some questions. I did answer, Anna, I will get back to you on the Pico de Herrero. Cindy asked about the NCL dinner package. I'm going to find out about that, and I will post it to the chat. They do change the rules pretty often, and Cindy was alluding to the fact that you can buy a 5 to 6 dinner package for the specialty dinners, and it's a little bit of a discount price. So I'll find out, and I'll post that for you guys tomorrow. Linda asked, are we able to bring bottles of alcohol, wine on board the ship? Well, Norwegian Cruise Line has a policy of not allowing members to bring wine or alcoholic beverages on board. But here's what happens, because we actually we often suggest that our members bring some wine on board, especially like if you're going to Madeira. What officially is supposed to happen, if you buy wine in Madeira, as Barry said, when you get back on board the ship that day, NCL will take your wine and they will border it, so to speak, until the last night. Then they'll give it back to you. So they don't take it and not return it. The same goes if you were to get on in Barcelona and bring some wine on. I would recommend, if you wanted to do that, there's always a chance you're talking about probably 8,000 to 9,000 bags that get on the Epic that afternoon. There's no way they check all of them. So if you put it in your bag carefully wrapped, you have a percentage chance that they will not find it in your bag, and then you'll have your wine. Worst case, you are the one that gets scanned, they find the wine, and again, they call you and they hold it until the last night of the cruise. So I hope that helps answer the question. I always think it's worth a try. I've tried it every time I've cruised, and I've never had my bag confiscated, knock on wood, so I think it's worth a try. Hi, Sonia. Happy New Year to you too, sweetheart. I love seeing all our old members. Let's see. And David asked a question about the fixed prices for specialty dining. Thanks. Actually, there was fixed pricing. There is fixed pricing for most of them. We heard a rumor that some of them are a la carte these days, but we're also going to post that information to the chat tomorrow. So these are great questions and a way for us to kind of cover some information that we missed and deliver it to you tomorrow so that you're able to make informed decisions. Then Catherine asks, it would be ever so helpful, thanks Catherine, you're so sweet, to know which nights we're dressing up. Any thought when you'll know? That way we know what nights to book for restaurants, shows on the ship, plus Howling in the Moon, etc. Well, I'm going to ask Heidi and Georgia if they want to come in on that. I will just preface it by saying the cruise ship, whenever we ask for advance notice on what's happening, they always preface it by saying it's always subject to change. So we're never sure 100% what each night will look like. But girls, do you have an idea about what nights your themes might be?
Tammy, this is Georgia. And again, like you said, we're trying to get some more information from Norwegian on this. The Moroccan night, we are leaning towards March 30th because that is the night that we leave Tangiers. So if we're going to do a Moroccan night, it sort of makes sense to do it in Morocco as we're leaving. But again, until we get the total schedule from Norwegian with everything else that they're doing, and now that we've got this specialty dining, we haven't had a chance to put all of this together. We can tell you April's Fools will be on April 1st. We know that one.
Okay.
That one probably won't. And then the Casablanca night, we were looking at a certain night. Norwegian does, quote, have formal nights, but they sort of call them formal as you like it, so they're not really real formal. And we were tentatively looking at a set time in April for April 3rd for Casablanca night. But I think that's the night that you've put
Cirque Dreams.
I think recently Cirque Dreams. So again, until we put some of this together, we don't really want to lock and load on a specific night at this point.
Okay, Catherine, I hope that helps. And I'll add again that you guys will be the most famous people on board the ship. I'm sorry if that makes some of you uncomfortable, but everybody is going to know the singles group. So if you are dressed in a fez cap or a harem girl outfit and you're in the specialty restaurant, so will all your comrades. So I know, I guess I'm speaking for myself and not you guys. For me, that I would be comfortable knowing that I'm with the crowd of others, but I know the girls will put their thinking caps on. They've already, devoted a lot of time to kind of develop programs for you, and we do try to take all of these things into consideration. It's not willy-nilly. If you have suggestion, you can share it with us, and any of you who have met Heidi and Georgia know that their heart is in it. They're there for you guys 24/7. So I hope that helped answer it a little bit.
Tammy?
Yeah.
This is And the other thing that we're trying to factor into this, if people are interested, is the other themes that NCL has said that they'll be doing on this cruise. And again, as you know, they can give us these themes and they can give us set nights, and then when we board in Barcelona, those nights are different. But they're talking about that they've got a Norwegian's Night Out theme. They have a Fava theme night, which is really ABBA. They have a white hot party and potentially a fiesta latina. So again, that's what we're trying to juggle is basically all of this information to basically incorporate our themes in a way that makes sense with the itinerary as well as with what NCL is doing.
Okay, great. So I hope, does everybody get that, or are you just happy to wait until the girls put their thinking caps on for a little bit longer and come back to the chat and check it out? Hands up. Who's willing to wait for the girls to put their thinking caps on? Okay, awesome, guys. We have 2 months. So we will put it together. Again, give us your suggestions. Always very, very helpful because there's no way we could think of everything ourselves. I do have a question. Somebody just asked how to book the specialty dining on the STI site. So, you've all booked the cruise. So what happens, what you're going to do now is you're going to click the word book now. Just show you that right now. Just click book now. Just pretend like you're going to book it brand new. And then you see the cruise cabins, but you're already booked. So your version of this website says continue. Mine says next step at the bottom, but you would just hit continue. And then on the next page are all the options. So scroll down to the bottom and that's where you're going to see all of the specialty dining. So just click that and then you'll hit continue again after you've made all your selections. Hit continue. Mine says next step. And then, of course, I'm going to choose Cagnes and Maderno and Teppanyaki, hit next step. And I'm an admin, so it won't let me book. But you guys click book now, bypass the cruise page, and then go ahead and make your selections and check out as you normally would for a cruise. So I hope that helps for you. I don't know who asked me that question. David, I think. Catherine, we much appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. Yes, we are, the date for Cirque, Kathy might have just found a typo. Let me take a check. It's going to be April 3rd. April 3rd is the day that we're suggesting everybody go. So let me see. Yep, it's right here, April 3rd. Kath, maybe you can tell me where it says April 7th. Maybe you can pipe in here. I see April 3rd on our chat post. So I'll wait to hear back from Kathy because I want to fix that if we have a typo. Somebody says, Catherine, again, ABBA night and White night on Epic are great events, but totally get that. There's a lot of juggling for sure. She recognizes our pain. But anyway, it's all fun. Like really, we have 10 parties to try to decide what to do and what to wear. It's super duper duper fun. Eddie, yes, there will be a white hat night, Eddie. So bring your white jammies. We know how Eddie loves to dress up. Anybody know Eddie? He's great in a costume. We can always depend on him. Right. Okay. So let's see. Kathy was looking at day 7. Right. Okay, good. So we're good there. And thanks, guys. I think that's all the questions. I'm just going to hang out for a couple of minutes in case there are any more questions. If you're finished and you got everything you need, I'll just say good night. We look forward to hosting you on the Epic, March 28th. We'll look forward to your questions at the Help Center and your chat posts for each other. Have a great time, guys. Good night.